asked to go. It wasn't my idea. My Saturday mornings usually belong to me, and Mom does not interfere. But this was no normal Saturday morning. And my mother is no normal mother. The Charge Up Yard Sale Hill by Ken Bradbury. Some mothers are called to wrestle steer in the rodeo, others to repair nuclear bombs, or stomp alligators, or teach 7th graders. But nothing so tame would appeal to my mother. My mother is a commando, a yard sale commando. My grandmother must have dropped a for sale sign on her head when she was still a young girl, and she has never recovered. Bulls react to waving capes. Mad dogs go crazy at the sight of water. Man-eating tigers lose their mind at the smell of red meat. For my mother, all it takes is a simple sign that says, yard sale. It had promised to be one of those Saturday mornings that I always dreamed of. No school, sleep till noon. Call up a few friends, just generally turned to mold, watching television and doing nothing. But then, Mom flew into my bedroom, jerked off my covers, and said, "Get up, Lauren. It's time you become a woman. Your first yard sale." What could I do? I just assumed she lost her mind and could be dangerous. And after all, I could sleep in the car all morning while she picked through the neighbor's things. Well, let me tell you, honey, there was no sleeping in this car. In the first place, she packed to the gill with 4 of her commando friends. They'd trained together for years, and each knew the moves of the other by heart. Our white Buick blasted off the launch pad at 6 a.m. sharp, wilting the grass and killing every sparrow within 20 yards. And that look in my mother's eyes, I've never seen anything like it. Even my 4th grade report card hadn't turned that sort of craziness. "Mom," I said, "what's the matter?" "In the yard sale game, Lauren," she sneered, "it's either crush or be crushed. This is the day you grow up, little girl." In science class, they'd shown us videos of poisonous pythons and crazed polar bears. But up close, she was more frightening. The early morning traffic was heavy, but that made no difference to Mom. She either went around it, or under it, or over it. At the edge of town, our Buick jumped completely over a troop of sleeping Boy Scouts and landed nose first at the foot of a mail carrier, who quickly shot up into the top branches of an elm tree. His oath to deliver mail through rain, sleet, and snow had evidently not covered natural disasters, such as my mother. I could tell by the terrified look in his eyes. He'd recognized Mom's Buick on sight. A picture of it was taped to the inside of all mail carrier bags, with a sign that read, "Beware, vicious woman." The poor lady who owned the house had just come up for breakfast to grab her newspaper off the front walk when our battleship Buick ground its teeth into her front curb. Before she could even bend down and grab the paper, our commandos had bought her wristwatch, hairnet, and bathrobe, and had made several offers on her cup of coffee. "Mom," I screamed, "this is awful!" "Quiet, sweetheart," she growled. "We're just getting warmed up. The real battles are still coming." And off we shot like a heat-seeking missile through the suburbs. Occasionally we'd pass a carload of amateurs. You could tell the novices. They'd be sitting there, reading the ads. "Ha!" sneered Mom's friend, Beatrice of the backseat. "Rookies, look at 'em. A real yarder don't need no newspaper. A real yarder can smell a sale." At every stop, the yard sale commando's pattern of attack was the same. Mom would screech up to the curb, and the 4 doors of our Buick would blast open like an egg in a microwave. The commandos would spread out, covering every yard within a 2-block area, searching for the biggest bargain. When one was spotted, the commando would reach down into regions unknown and blow a small whistle, pitched so high that only other commandos and deaf dogs can hear it. Then it would begin. Offers were shouted at bullhorn volume. Hands desperately grabbed the curtains. Prices dropped like lead underwear. I saw, and I am not lying, I saw Wilma Waters roll on the ground for nearly 2 minutes, wrestling an enemy commando for the possession of a 12-year-old weed eater. It was like all-star wrestling, but with real blood. Stray dogs ran off in terror. Birds refused to fly. Houseplants wilted at the very sight. After the awful struggle, one woman would rise victorious from the cloud of dust and red tags, slap her money down on the card table, walk off the weed eater, leaving the loser to nurse her wounds and dream of returning to fight again. We just pulled up to the last house on the block when they appeared around the corner. They were the commandos' most dreaded enemy, the sailbusters from Slinger. These gals had battle scars on their teeth. Gory-looking medallions hung from their purses, proclaiming victory in past battles. 2 even had purple hearts. My mom's commandos, although factions themselves, quaked at the sight of these grizzled old warriors. "Warren," said my mother, "I've led a good life. I've got no regrets, and I want you to know that I love you. But if I don't make it back from this one..." She stopped, her throat choked with emotion. "Yes, Mom?" I squealed. "If I don't make it back, tell your father, tell him..." "Tell him what, Mom? Tell him what?" "Tell him to water the dog. That man will forget his head if I don't remind him." And with those loving words, she was off to fight, perhaps to give all she had for that one last bargain. I swore that this would never happen to me. I stand here today as... Where'd you get that shirt? What did you pay for it? What'll you take? No, really, I've got to have that shirt. Do you want cash or check? No, really, I have to have that.